Hello, my name is Chris, and I'm really excited to be presenting this final project. It's taken many months to be here, almost many years, but finally made it. So today will be a talk, some pranayama, and then a guided meditation on Yoga Sutra 1.33 by Maharishi Patanjali. This sutra is really alive for me over the past period of time. And I'm excited to share what I've learned about it and how an exploration of this can help us as modern yogis living in the world find more calm and serenity in our lives. So the sutra is as follows. It's a long one. Maitri, karuna, mudita, upekshanam, sukha, dukkha, punya, apunya, vishayanam, bhavanata, chitta, prasadanam. Maitri, karuna, mudita, upekshanam, sukha, dukkha, punya, apunya, vishayanam, bhavanata, chitta, prasadanam. And it translates to the following. This is the translation that I really liked and resonated with. By cultivating attitudes of friendliness toward the happy, compassion for the unhappy, delight in the virtuous, and disregard for the unvirtuous or the wicked, the field of consciousness retains its undisturbed calmness. What Patanjali is saying here is that there is a key to serenity in our minds, in our lives, and it's moving through the world with four virtues: friendliness or maitri, compassion, karuna, delight for others, mudita, and equanimity or indifference, upeksha. So I think of these as ways to live yoga's sacred teachings in my life, and especially in my relations with other human beings. It's one thing to, be a renunciant living in the mountains, but we're modern day householders and we do have to interact with others. And so these four virtues are very, we can go to them. And Patanjali specifically says there are circumstances where we should call to mind these virtues. And, the world is reemerging from COVID, and we're learning how to be together again in human relationships, or not learning. But we will undoubtedly come across situations that are stressful as we are dealing with the collective trauma, the individual trauma from the past that is carrying, into the present moment. And we have a choice on how we want to be with those challenging situations. We can either respond to them with virtue or react to them. That choice is actually within our power. So Patanjali identified those four circumstances where these four virtues should be applied. And this is the first. When encountering happiness in others, we should use the virtue of friendliness. We taint the serenity of the mind when we walk down the road of questioning why others are more happy or successful than we are in our lives. Comparison only leads to unhappiness, envy, jealousy, even greed. So let's be happy in the happiness of others. No matter what happens or comes across our path, can we be friendly towards it? The second circumstance is quite familiar. It's when we are encountering others who are sad or suffering, we can use the virtue of compassion. Here, we do not turn a blind eye. We extend a helping hand. We do not ignore the pain. We look directly into it and offer understanding and peace. The third situation is when we are faced with those who are virtuous or doing something good. Can we experience delight or joy with them? As spiritual seekers, we may encounter those who are further along the path than we are. And again, rather than experiencing greed or envy or jealousy, can we adopt the mindset that as others progress, we are all progressing collectively as a human community? Another way to think about this is, if finding joy is hard in your own life, then allow yourself to feel the joy of others. If you are able to experience a little bit of joy that every other person in the world were experiencing, you'd be 7 billion times more joyful than you are now. That idea of expanding to experience the joy of others is just really, really powerful. The fourth situation is when we are faced with those who are unvirtuous or wicked. Patanjali instructs us to be indifferent or unmoved and not to sink to their level. No anger in response to something evil. No negative act in reaction to a negative act. There's no need to create further imbalance due to another's imbalance. This is equanimity or indifference, to be with what is. So practicing these virtues prevents you from creating more samskaras or more karmas that take you off your own spiritual path. And before we start practicing, I just want to highlight one thing, which is that these 4 virtues track virtually identically to the teachings of the Buddha and the 4 divine abodes, or Brahmaviharas. There's something about these 4 qualities of friendliness, sympathetic joy, compassion, and equanimity that resonate throughout the ancient traditions of yoga and mindfulness from the Buddhist tradition. So dwelling in these divine abodes helps us cultivate positive behaviors and minimize negative ones. So let's take time to practice with these 4 virtues. And they really all deserve a practice of their own. But here we'll go through each of them, all 4 of them, briefly, and just reflect on how they individually fit together in your own life. So I invite you to come to a comfortable seated position, sitting cross-legged in Sukhasana, maybe sitting on something that will elevate the hips, or at least so that they are level with the knees or even higher. And if it's supportive to you, I invite you to soften the gaze or close the eyes. We'll start with coming to the present moment, noticing, no judging, no commentary. Noticing the quality of the thoughts, noticing the quality of the breath, being with any sensations in the body comforts, discomforts, and just being with them. We'll start our pranayama practice now with samariddhi, or even breathing, even fluctuations. We'll inhale for a count of 4, and then exhale for a count of 4. Let's begin. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Halfway there. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last round. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Resume your everyday breath. And just noticing if there have been any subtle shifts in quality of the thoughts, quality of the breath, sensations in the body. We'll now practice cultivating friendliness, the first of the 4 virtues. Feel the body breathing, relaxing, relaxing the jaw, and just being here. Call to mind a being with whom you have a very loving and uncomplicated relationship. A friend, a beloved, maybe an animal, or a spiritual figure. In the mind's eye, see them in front of you. See how they care about you. See how they love you. Feel how easy it is for you to be friendly towards them. Relax in this space of human connection and locate that sense of connection in your own body. Maybe it's in the chest, or maybe the belly, maybe in the fingers. Wherever it is, let it expand. And let it be a sensation in the whole body. There's nothing to do but feel into it and enjoy it. May this being be happy and healthy. May they be safe and free. Now bring to mind a person for whom you may have feelings of envy or even jealousy. Transfer the sense of friendliness that you just had to this new person. They also deserve human connection. Notice if you are resisting this. Just let the feelings of friendliness flow. May this being be happy and healthy. May they be safe and free. We'll move on now to the next virtue, compassion. Call to mind a situation where there is some sadness or some suffering, and choose wisely here. Not something too intense. Perhaps a person who is suffering but whom you might not know too well, or maybe you don't know at all. Wish that this person has the strength, resources, and support they need. Gaze fully into their human experience of suffering or sadness. They suffer too, just like me. They are sad too, just like me. They wish for their suffering to end, just like me. Send this fellow human being wishes for wellness. May they be free from suffering. May they be at peace. The third virtue is joy for others. Call to mind a person who is experiencing happiness. Maybe it's something small, like they grabbed the last carton of milk in the grocery store. Maybe it's something big, like a coworker getting a promotion that they deserved. Maybe it's something related to the spiritual path, that they have gained deep insight. Notice their satisfaction. Let their happiness wash over you with no resistance. Be with their joy. Say to yourself silently now, may you savor your happiness. May your joy continue. We'll move now into the final virtue, indifference or equanimity. Imagine that you are the sky and you can hold all of the stormy clouds. You do not become the stormy clouds. You're not sad because of the stormy clouds. You hold the stormy clouds. You have enough space to hold all of that and continue to be as big as the sky. No matter what comes into the field of awareness, especially if it is a person who has acted without virtue or who has been unkind, even cruel, you can hold it all. You are indifferent to the outcome. You give it no power over you. May I be as big as the sky. May I be equanimous in the face of meanness or cruelty. I may not like this situation, and that's okay. It may not be what I want, but I can be with it. Whatever life sends my way, may I have the capacity to hold it all. Consider now all four of these virtues at the same time. Let them glow brightly within you. Friendliness, compassion, joy for others, and equanimity. How does it feel to be completely filled up with friendliness, compassion, joy for others, and equanimity? May this bring a sense of serenity and calmness. When you're ready, yogis, I invite you to slowly flutter the eyes open or bring the gaze back into focus. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I hope to see you again very soon.